Hey guys, welcome to Beyond 50 Skin. I am going to be talking about something today that each and every one of us has gone through or will go through. You're not going to want to miss it. I'm going to share my experience and show you how I resolved it. So stay tuned, we're going to jump right into it. Over the last few weeks, I have been really struggling with skin barrier breakdown. Breakdown to the point where I could not use any products. If you've been following me on my Instagram, you'll know that the journey has been a real struggle. I went to my dermatologist and she said, okay, no products for like 2 weeks. So I'm at the 10-day mark. I have resolved and figured out what in the world was going on. My skin was breaking down to the point where I had sores, open sores. It was terrible. So everybody is going to experience skin barrier breakdown at some point in their life. Why do we get it? How do we get it? And how we resolve it? That's what I'm going to talk about today. There are many reasons you can have skin barrier breakdown. You can have an allergy to something external or internal. You can have environmental exposure, like you've been out in the sun too long, the wind too long, and your skin just can't tolerate it. You can have stress, like hives and breakouts and just irritation on your skin from stress. Topical medications that you might be using, overuse of skincare, lots of reasons we get skin barrier breakdown. So the barrier of our skin is really important to hold us together as a person, and it's made up of lots of different layers. I'm not going to go into all that today, but the bottom line is when you have skin barrier breakdown, your stratum corneum is compromised. The top layer of your skin is made up of ceramides, cholesterols, fatty acids, and that's kind of the glue that holds your keratinocytes, the cells on the top of your skin, together. And when that is disrupted, things get in, your skin barrier breaks down. So the bottom line is, how do we resolve it? What happened to me and what I'm doing about it? So how I resolved it was, number one, it was so bad I had to go to the dermatologist. I wasn't sure what was going on. It didn't really make a whole lot of sense. I had started a new sunscreen that I was going to share with you guys, and I kind of thought that was the culprit, but I stopped using that. It had been like 2 weeks since I'd stopped using it, and I hadn't really been introducing anything new into my skincare routine, and it just didn't seem like that was it. And so, like I said, my dermatologist was like, okay, stop everything. Don't wash your face. Don't use a cleanser. Don't use a moisturizer. I'm like, don't use sunscreen? She's like, don't use sunscreen. Like, not even a mineral sunscreen? No. And I did a funny little short on this because I really couldn't believe that she was like, stop doing everything. Like, do not wash your face.
That's a real quick no. That's a hard pass. Absolutely not. Very uninterested in that option.
And I was like, what? No sunscreen. So I was hats, covering up, visors in the car, pulled down. I didn't go out a lot for long walks, so for the last 10 days. And I have not washed my face for 10 days. So I'm going to pull in close so you can take a look. And my face hasn't fallen off. My skin's still there, it's healed up, it's doing really well. And now it's time to reintroduce some skincare. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to use, my beginner skincare routine after barrier breakdown. And this is a routine that you can use. Talk a little bit about the ingredients, why I chose the products that I did, and a little bit about a hero ingredient that you definitely need to look for that's kind of undersung. Let's first start with what happened to me. It wasn't the topicals that I was using. I stopped everything and I was still having a problem. I was flushing. Like I said, I had skin barrier breakdown where my glasses were touching, like I was getting like little sores. It was terrible. For me, what happened is I was using a new medication, and that was phototoxic, or had phototoxic effects, and I didn't know it at the time. Even though I was wearing sunscreen, I thought I was protecting myself. When I stopped wearing the sunscreen, because the derm recommended stopping all products, it got even worse. And so actually my husband was the one that figured it out. He was like, what's new in the last like 2.5 weeks that is completely something new that you've done? And we just boiled it down to the fact that I had started a new medication, and I didn't realize that one of the side effects is phototoxicity. So that was the reason I had skin barrier breakdown. The glue that was holding my skin together was definitely compromised, and I was just a mess. I was red, I was hot, I was flushed. I was so irritated, slightly itchy, very warm, and it just didn't look good. I'll pop in a picture over here. So what did I do? I stopped everything and had to find the solution, and my skin wasn't getting better. So then once I stopped the medication, my skin started to heal over the last 10 days. I haven't washed it, have not washed my skin in 10 days. And so how does my skin feel? Well, it feels a little rough. I've got some buildup along kind of the creases in my face. I can feel the skin is built up, but basically nothing horrible happened. My skin healed and it got better. So that's one thing to remember. When you're really having irritated, itchy, hot skin, stop everything. Not washing your face, not using your products for a little while is not going to do anything. And so my skin is really back intact. And I'm looking for ingredients now to gently ease back into a very mild skincare routine. So basically you're looking for humectants and emollients in your skincare. You're going to look for glycerin, Urea, which is the one I want to talk about because it's the unsung hero. Glycerin is a big one for when you want sort of a gentle re-entry into your skincare products. But glycerin, urea, ceramides, vitamin B5, panthenol. It sort of improves softness and elasticity. And niacinamide is kind of, for some people that'll be okay. For some people that will be too irritating. It does help with skin barrier function, but if you're going to introduce it after a really bad skin barrier issue, I would sort of save the niacinamide. But another one you can look for is oat or colloidal oatmeal. It's very soothing. So what I really want to talk to you about today is one of the unsung heroes ingredients is urea. So I first learned about urea from one of my favorite products, the Sukiyaka Suhada Moisturizing Lotion. And I use this to kind of pack in hydration during the different layers of my skincare routine. But I really didn't know how great urea was for skin barrier repair until recently. Allison over at My Mature Skin Diary turned me on to a paper, and after I read it, I thought, I really need to share this with you guys because urea is something you can definitely look for in your ingredient list if you're trying to repair your skin barrier. It regulates keratinocytes, sort of the production of the bricks in the top layer of our stratum corneum. It is slightly antimicrobial, and it increases the production of a protein called filaggrin. I'm going to put that down below, and it's a structural protein that's important for the stratum corneum, getting back to getting those bricks in order. So it's really important for skin function, and urea has been found to increase the production or upregulate the production of filaggrin. Another thing to look for is urea in the percentages of 2 to 10%. So that helps with transepidermal water loss, and it's great for low humidity environments. And they showed in a study that if you look between 5% and 10%, they really didn't have that much of a difference. The other thing they showed in a few studies is that it decreased the amount of eczema flares that people were having. So it's just a great product, and I think it's something that we kind of need to be on the lookout, especially if we're having barrier repair issues. So I'm going to go wash my face, and I'm going to go through the products that I'm going to be using to reintroduce into my skincare routine after 10 days of not washing my face, and we'll see how it turns out. So hold on a few seconds, we'll head on into my bathroom. So I'm going to go through the products that I chose and why I chose them, and then we'll see how my skin reacts to its first wash in 10 days. So I chose the Aveeno Calm and Restore. This is a great cleanser if you need super gentle cleanser. It's not too alkaline. It's got glycerin. It's got colloidal oatmeal. That's why I chose this cleanser. I'm also going to use my Sukiyaka Suhada Urea Moisturizing Lotion because I just told you all the benefits of urea, and I'm going to pack in the moisture using this. And then I chose the Cicaplast Balm with Panthenol, another great soothing, calming, improved barrier repair, moisture retention, prevent the transepidermal water loss with this cream. It's a little on the oily side, so some of you might not appreciate the fact that if you have really oily skin, that this can be kind of a little bit on the greasy side, similar to the Vaseline that I've been using for the last 2 weeks. But I'm actually on a recommendation of one of the videos that I've seen recently, and I can't remember which one. I'm going to layer this under my Vaseline and still get a little bit of a healing. I still have a little bit of redness you can see in this cheek. This cheek has been slower to heal than the rest of my face for whatever reason. It's still tending to flare. It's still a little bit warm. It's a little bit slightly irritated. So I still do have a little bit of barrier repair to go, but I'm ready to wash my face. I'm ready to get this sort of crusty, sort of flaky skin buildup that I can feel on my skin. Like I said, nothing terrible happened, but it's sure gonna feel good to finally wash my face. So these are the products that I chose: the Aveeno Calm and Restore, the Sukiyaka Suhada, the Cicaplast Balm with Panthenol, B5 Panthenol, and then I'm going to top it all off with a small little dab of my BFF for the last 2 weeks, a little bit of Vaseline. So let's get going. And also, when you're washing your skin, always use just very lukewarm water. You don't want it too hot. You don't want it too cold. Just lukewarm water. So I am going to let the water run for a minute. Oh, it feels so nice. Oh my gosh, you can't believe how nice it is to clean your skin after 10 days of no cleansing. I can't believe that I went so many years without cleansing my face properly. It's so embarrassing. And I like these little Clean Club skin towels for cleaning my face. I've given up on the washcloths. They're a bit abrasive. I can't seem to get them as clean as I'd like them or free of lint as I'd like them in the washing machine. So I've switched to these. I really like them. And I have been wearing a bit of makeup around my eyes a little bit this week, a little bit of cover up over my lid and some mascara. And I've been using my Vaseline to remove that. So I was curious if I've been able to get it all off, but it looks like there's not a trace. I'm not going to double cleanse just because I don't want to irritate my barrier any further than it already is irritated. So cleanse done. My skin didn't pink up too much, which is a good indication that the barrier is still intact. This little red spot is kind of still healing, but I think it's almost more post-inflammatory as opposed to any skin barrier issues, because I definitely did have some severe skin breakdown along my the bridge of my nose where the skin is so thin. All right, so next I'm gonna pour on a bit of my Sukiyaki Suhara. You can also put that into a spray bottle, but I'm just gonna pack it on, and while my skin is still damp, I'm gonna come in with the La Roche-Posay Cicaplast Balm, just a little pea-sized amount. Oops, there goes my Vaseline. Just a little pea-sized amount. And this doesn't play all that well, I've noticed in the past, with water. So it's going to take me a little bit of massage to get this in, but it's going to lock that moisture in. I'm going to get a little bit more for my neck. I'm not going for beauty today here, people. Just getting my skin back on track and enjoying a nice cleanse. I'm going to let that soak in or dry down for just a second and come in with a little bit of, as a last step to seal it all in, a little dab of petrolatum. As an occlusive, you cannot get better than petrolatum as a skin barrier repair. You really can't do better than sticking to a bit of Vaseline for a few days to get your skin calmed down. It's inert and seals it in and protects. So my first cleanse after 10 days, my skin feels so nice and refreshed. And I will be putting on a little bit of mineral sunscreen this afternoon. I haven't really decided which one. Probably one without tint. I don't want to aggravate things anymore. So probably the Biossance. So this is about an hour after I finish cleansing. I am pinking up a little bit and my cheeks are feeling a little bit warm. The redness has gone down, so it's looking pretty good. Thank you for joining me for my first cleanse in 10 days. And I hope you got some tips if you're running into barrier repair issues, or at least you can kind of tuck this video away for when you do have a barrier repair disruption. Leave your tips down below. Always love to talk to you guys in the conversation. Throw this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next video. Bye everyone, and wishing you a skin-tastic day. Bye.